Hello everyone. For this video, we're going to discuss on how to solve the explicit formula of a sequence. So for this example, we have 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on and so forth. Now to begin, in order for us to find the general rule or the explicit formula of this sequence, first is we're going to identify what kind of sequence is this. Now, as we observe, the difference between 3 and 5 is 2. So, we have 2 or positive 2 or plus 2. 5 and 7 is plus 2. 7 and 9 is plus 2. And then 9 and 11 is also plus 2. So as we can see, we have a common difference here, which is 2. So we can say that this sequence is an example of arithmetic sequence. Now, what is an arithmetic sequence? Arithmetic sequence is a kind of sequence in which the difference of a term to its next or preceding term is the same throughout the sequence. So in this case, the common difference here is 2. Now, the formula in getting the explicit formula of the arithmetic sequence is we have a sub n is equals to d n plus a sub 0 or the zero term. Okay, so d stands for the common difference. Okay, then a sub 0 is the term before the first term. Later we will understand what is this. Okay, so let us try to solve for the explicit formula. So we're going to have a sub n is equals to, now the common difference here on our example is 2. So we're going to substitute d by 2. So we'll have 2, then you just write n plus. Okay, so let's focus here on the zero term. Now, 3 is a sub 1 or the first term. 5 is the second term or a sub 2. 7 is a sub 3 or the third term. 9 is the fourth term or a sub 4. Then 11 is the fifth term or the a sub 5. Now, what is the zero term? So the zero term is the term before the first term. So our first term here is 3. Now, if there will be a term before 3, what is that number? So since we have a common difference of 2, so our zero term here is, we have 1. Okay. So our value for the zero term is 1. This. Okay, so we're going to write here 1. And this is now our formula. This is the explicit or the general rule of this sequence. So this is our answer. A sub n is equals to 2n plus 1. Now let's check. Okay, so to check this one, let's say if we're going to determine the first term, so we know that the first term is 3, but we're going to use this formula if our first term is really 3. So we have a sub 1, which signifies the first term, then 2 times our n here is 1, since we're going to get the first term, plus, that is 1. So we have 2 times 1, that is 2, plus 1, we have 3. So our first term is 3, which is correct on our sequence. What about if we're going to identify the fourth term? Okay, so for the fourth term, let's just substitute it by 4. The fourth term, then we have here 4. So 2 times 4 is we have 8 plus 1, that is 9. So we have here 9. So that's how we check if our answer or if the explicit formula is correct. Okay, so let's have this next example. So we have 23, 19, 15, 11, 7, and so on and so forth. Now let's try to identify the explicit formula of this sequence. Now again, determine first the common difference. So 23 and 19, so this is minus 4. 19 and 15, this is also minus 4. 15 and 11, minus 4. 11 and 7, this is minus 4. Okay, so since our sequence is decreasing, we have to understand that our common difference here should be a negative number. So the formula is a sub n is equals to the common difference times n plus the zero term. Okay, so the formula here is our common difference is negative 4, so we have negative 4n plus, what is our zero term? Now again, zero term is the term before the first term. So if we're going to write a number before 23, what is that number? So our zero term, this is the first term. So since we have a common difference of negative 4 going to the right, now if we're going to go to the left, we're going to add 23 by 4. So that is 23 plus 4, we have 27. So 27. And this is now our final answer. This is the explicit formula of this sequence. Okay, so to check if our sequence is correct, let's say if we're going to determine the third term, so we're going to substitute n by 3, signifying we're going to get the third term. So negative 4, the value of n here is 3 since we want to determine the third term, plus 27. Negative 4 times 3, that is negative 12, plus 27. And negative 12 plus 27, we have 15. And 15 is our third term here. Okay, now if we're going to find the fifth term, so let's substitute 3 by 5. So negative 4 times 5, that is negative 20. And negative 20 plus 27, that is 7, which is our fifth term. So this is correct. Okay guys, thank you for watching. I hope you learned this lesson on finding the explicit formula of a sequence, specifically the general formula of, or the explicit formula of arithmetic sequence. If you learn, hopefully you will subscribe my channel. It will help me a lot to be motivated on making videos. By the way, this is my first tutorial video. Thank you so much for having it with me today. Thank you.